I think that works. Let's move over a little bit. Move all my papers. Yeah, I'm on live. I never made it to the 505. They was playing live. I was trying to stay alive. What up, y'all? Got a good talk for y'all today. Been making some moves. Today was a rough day, but it is what it is. Oh, I need to plug this up before it dies. That's what I was about to do. Got still some juice. Can you get the charge on the floor right there? Hand it to me, please. Yes, more I need. It's the one I need. What up, man? Marcel, what's up, bro? This is what I decided to do with the business. I'm about to have lunch, but I've been over here working. So I got some documents and papers here that I'm going to share with you. All right, so what I decided to do, whatever you put together. So here's what I decided to do. All right. The first thing that I did was I took a look at my pricing versus my mentor's pricing. And just as I expected, I charge a little bit more. And the reason I charge a little bit more is because the reason I charge a little bit more is because I came in contract print, meaning I had to pay him in order to deliver the product to the end consumer, right? Basically. So I had to mark it up in order to make some money. And so the thing that I see is a problem, and I've been telling you to raise his prices forever, but his price is literally like $3 cheaper than mine. A little less than double is what I charge versus him. Now, in retrospect, one of the reason that it's so much right now is because he has not changed his pricing, I think, right? Like King. He hasn't changed his pricing in quite some time now. So with that being said, on the flip side to him not changing his pricing, I have changed. I still have increased my prices in time. And so this was things where I'm all right, cool. I just think I need to get him to raise his prices. This is crazy. But in all honesty, the customers that I get don't have a problem paying my prices. So it's not something that I need to solve myself, but it works the way it is. Now, the next thing that I'm gonna do is I've decided that I am not going to I'm not gonna print anymore. Well, okay, let me not say I'm not gonna print anymore. I'm gonna pick and choose what I'm gonna print. Mainly local stuff. One, I'm down right now. My dryer's down, so I can't really do nothing. And I need to bring it home to the new house in order to get it going. I gotta get the electric ran. It's a lot I gotta do in order to get this rolling. And with that being said, so now I have to outsource the job. I got a 50-piece hoodie. Haven't you stopped printing in the past? No, I never stopped. I just picked and choose what I would print. I never stopped printing. And so basically, I'm going to do what I would do when I was during that time where it looked like I wasn't printing much because I wasn't. I was heat pressing and outsourcing if it was big enough. So like I just got a 50-piece order of hoodies that I'm outsourcing to another print shop to do work on a contract printing term. So I'm just going back over and want to go further because I'm about to go for a mainstream marketing channel. And so because like I spent a lot of time with you guys and I didn't want to sell shirts. Like I'm like, bro, I can't sell shirts to y'all and teach y'all. Like that's not how this kind of worked to me, right? Some people do it, I don't. Um, the thing that I did now, looking back, or what I'm gonna do moving forward, is I'm gonna market mainstream all around because I am taking a broad personal brand path now, right? So now I'm gonna be talking to other business owners, different things. Now I can sell shirts to them. However, I'm gonna be the bottleneck because I can't. I mean, I can print orders and stuff, right? Don't get me wrong, but you can't do both, right? Like I've completely figured out that I ran far past like what I could sustainably do myself. Between print, finding orders, doing this consulting, and traveling, it just can't all get done. So I've been trying to shape what I wanted to do, but now that I'm going mainstream and I can run my print shop simultaneously to me working on all these other brands and all these other things, because I'm gonna take the personal brand approach and just talk to people and business owners and people trying to start, and I'm gonna show off the jobs that I'm doing all from my personal brand, with me being the person in fame, right? Working on the concept called Manufacture Fame. If you haven't, I'm not going too far that way. I'm gonna stay in the shop thing, what I'm thinking. But if you haven't seen it, basically I'm taking t-shirt size with the persona that you guys know me as, and saying that I can produce another version of that based on the same thing that I did before, which is just fucking working. So that leads me to, I was comparing my pricing to my boy's pricing. Now, this leads me to my contract printing companies. The one I want to use is right here. This is my boy, Roderick, out of North Carolina. The one I use is right here. This one is out of Philadelphia. Now, looking at this, the reason that I want to use my boy, one, it's a little bit cheaper. However, when I'm only doing local business, it doesn't make sense for me to have it printed in Charlotte and then ship it to myself and then go disperse it. Don't make sense for me to pay for that extra shipping, right? I save about $45 per 100 shirts or something like that. And could be more per hoodie. You know, shipping could get pretty expensive when you start dealing in boxes. I estimate like it costing about 45. What I do is I will eat $30 in shipping and charge the customer 15 or 20, depending on how much stuff they have per box. And so that was kind of the hold up for me using my boy. I talked to him this morning and I'm just like, bro, I gotta figure this out. Now that I'm going to go mainstream marketing, now that I'm going mainstream marketing, I can mass market my print shop, which was typically on local. Okay, so for the past, I've only run it local. However, if I do that, I can't move in the way that I want to move. So now I'm like, all right, I want to send all of the orders, because now it doesn't matter if they're in Delaware, it doesn't matter where they are, I can still market to them. And I mean, obviously I got stuff that happened outside, but I would have him ship, you know, the few orders a year that I would get that was outside of Delaware. I wasn't trying to hate shipping, all of that kind of stuff. And so now I'm like, bro, it's just another business. So if you like my content, you see what I'm doing, you getting educated from it, here's how you can support me. You can support one of these many brands, my mentees, the corporate company I'm working with, or on the backside of that, you can support me by shopping at one of the businesses that I'm partnered in or that I run completely, i.e. Gourmet Print and Design. So That's what I'm working on right now. Comparing the pricing, my boy's a little bit cheaper, but it's not by much. This 50-piece order for the fronts, which is 2 colors, I will be at $1.70 here, and on here I will be at $3. 30-cent difference, not that big of a deal, right? For the 1 colors, I'll be at $1.45, and on here, 1 colors, I'll be at $2.25. $1.45, $2.25. So that's about 75-cent difference. Just a little above 80. Yeah, 8-cent difference. Okay, so is it a lot in the grand scheme of things? No. For the conveniency of being here, I would lose that shipping it from Charlotte here. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna go with this job, and I'm gonna try to just get it there, get it done as fast as possible, and call it a day. I am going to verify, which I'm pretty much verified no matter what, that I'm happy with this pricing versus what I charge, which I think I am just from looking at it, and considering where I am on a pricing scale. I'm already priced at a premium. I can eat this cost here per print, and I want to go nomadic. I want to go back to the old ways of tracking profit job for job. I'm still going to put it in the system, but I need to start watching again and paying attention to what's happening, what money's coming in, where's it going, how much is the blunts costing, what's my margins. I need to start paying attention to all of this stuff very, very closely again. Until I got a grasp on it. My goal would be to build this out good enough to have a VA be able to do it. To be able to facilitate these orders as I go out. I'm in a way kind of giving up on help, right? Giving up on the physical person helping. I need to build a system that is going to, and I've seen it. Some people have shown me how to do it. Now it's up to me to do it. I'm seeing a few changes in what I'm doing because me changing lanes is giving me an idea of how I'm gonna market it and keep everything in bounds and not make it too much on myself. What up, bro? So I got my price available, but you gotta get the book in order to get to them. So I got shop docs available. All of my pricing is at sixfigureclub.com/pricing. So that's only count the profit book, which I think is super important to understand how I build my pricing before you get the pricing. And it is an obviously a charge. I think the book is like $27, and then the shop docs, which gives you all of the different documents I use. Right now, I only got 2 of them in front of me, but this screen print and retail price sheet, and then this is apparel price sheet for like my standard items and stuff like that, so I can just have anybody quote it. I don't know if I can put it. I can't type. Can I type? But it's sixfigureprinterclub.com. You can only get to it through /pricing. So that's pretty much where, hopefully, if somebody put it in there, I'll tell you if it's right or not, if you see it. I got a slightly different viewpoint now. Um, that is my minimum. Like, I'm not trying to make, and there are cases where I will make less than $5 a shirt. However, it's at like 200 pieces. I want to make at least $5 per garment at 100 garments. Anything below 100, I want more than that. That's like the least. That's my least profit I want to make per shirt. And you're getting that price, which is pretty much. So for a one color print, let's say, or you said DTF, let's go to a DTF print. My lowest price for a full color print is $12.50, right? Considering buying a 2x12 transfer, buying a cheap t-shirt, putting it together, it should be around $7.50. And then that might be the only time that I'm like less. Everything else, trying to make a little bit more. What I call that is my lowest common selling, or my lowest selling price. And then I work backwards from there. Any more questions? I do want to ask. Let's run some numbers, y'all. Got a pen somewhere. I didn't bring another sheet of paper. I'm trying to read all of these. I do need to make a DTG price sheet, so I'll make that next. Trying to run this thing up here, to be honest with you. Great, I feel like I'm on the right track. It just works out more. I embroidered 20 poses the other day, realized $15 per shirt. Yeah, you get a premium, but you gotta pay attention to losing time. Right? Like, you gotta pay attention to losing time. And when you look at the pricing you see out in the world on embroidery, most of those places, the standard is set by places that are running like 6 or 12 embroidery heads. Right? Like a dollar per 1,000 stitches. They can do that because they're running multiple at a time, but you on your single head cannot run that way. I think I just charged, and this is my boy, I was going to go up on the pricing. I think I just charged my boy, he wanted a single piece. You gotta pay attention to where things are. I charged him $65 for a single piece with a left chest embroidery and a little sleeve print. Oh, I can't click it, but y'all see it right there. Little left chest and a little sleeve. Probably gonna move the sleeve thing to be right here, but I ain't get there yet because I don't know if I could hoop a sleeve. I think I do have them freeform things, but I never use them. I'll be making this shit up as I go. But I don't remember the last embroidery big job I did. But I'm doing like, if you supply the blanks, I'm at like 10 to 15, like 10 for like a small left chest. What you supplying the blanks, like a bulk order of blanks. How do you get the artwork digitized now? I do have a team, so digitizing is like, typically it's like $20. So $10 for a sweatshirt, $20 or so for the digitizing. I'm at 30. I gotta hoop this thing up. Now imagine if the shit go wrong. What do I do then? Another shirt, $10, and down at 40. Now I've been doing pretty good with pricing, or like my production rather. But that's the reason, like, bro, you gotta change your prices. As much shit that go wrong for us as printers, and I don't care what you say, like, it's always the stupidest stuff. The much stuff that go wrong for us, and I don't care how big the shop is, there's an error rate. Shit is fucking up for us all the time. You gotta be able to at least still make money after reprinting. You ain't charging that much, at least for one reprint. And I mean a whole job reprinted. You might as well not even be in the game. That's the way I look at it. And so, I want a piece of paper. I gotta do an Amazon return. I don't know which paper they're gonna use, but I'm gonna write on the back. I'm gonna write it back on this one. I start pulling at 25 each left chest. Getting a lot of churches, they said I'm better in the area, but they like my attitude. I try to figure out for our feet, no matter the garment. Yeah. That's it. So so look, right? That same polo for a school would be 15. Here's the thing that we gotta know as business owners. Where you place an item dictates the price. Forget all of the quality stuff. Obviously, you can go with a nicer quality knot, but my pricing is just for that retail quality. If y'all watch the post that I just put out on Instagram about I was doing a YouTube, and one of my customers called me, like, I'm already priced for the mid tier, which is like the next level is the Bella Canvas, the Smart Blanks, the, you know what I'm saying, that. I'm already priced there. And I just choose if we're gonna give them a lesser one or a higher one, but the price is the same. And I'm not choosing based on quality, I'm choosing based on uses. So if you think about that, that same polo for a school might be $16.50. For the church, it might be $25. For the corporate company, it might be $35 or $45. That's the part of the game that we're missing out on. If you own a lane and a niche, like, I just sold $5,000 worth of AI generated artwork designs. But literally to a school. On that price sheet for the school, it's called a clothing brand money book or a print shop money book. I'm selling a t-shirt on there, I want to say for $22.50. I wanna pull it. I think I can get it quick in my iBooks. Airheads Airbrush. What's up? Let me see if I can let me see if I can all right, here we go. I just gotta download. My phone's being full. All right, so this right here is a clothing brand money. It's really just a lookbook. I call it for our purposes. It's a clothing brand joint. What's your Instagram, fam? All right, so here's what I showed them. All right, there's different things that I can do. The standard T-shirt is $23.50. Right? For the design. I'm telling her to retail it at $35. So I switched how I packaged it up. And I charge double the price. They gotta order a minimum of 30. And I'm charging double the price that I normally charge. So 30, and these are full color. So let me see how much my sheet says I should charge for 30 full color designs. Let's see. Basically, they get 5 per size. My sheet says at 30, they should be paying $15.50, and I'm charging $23.50. So that is $15.50 divided by, I think that's how you do it, $23.50. So that's a 65%. So that's a 35% markup. From what I would normally charge. That makes sense? I can't let this go over your head. I'm charging 35% more than I would normally charge. Yeah, man, I can show you the way. If you can do artwork, bro, you got half the battle. You got half the battle. Like making cool art and then offering people printing services, bro, that's the game. And you can contract print. You can use the same people that I'm about to use to work for you. You ain't got to do the work. You just add the extra money. And that takes me back to like, bro, that's how I originally started this thing. That's what I originally did. I did the artwork and I charged them for the shirts and I never touched the thing. Now I learned more, did more, started making more money, but now it's like, do you want the money or the time? You decide. Give a little bit of the money away, you keep more of your time. They pay for what you want, but when you look at your business, that is 1000% correct. But when you look at your business, you gotta look at how you package it, right? The first thing is, I just told you guys I've always charged more money than everybody around me. Why? Because I was using them to print it, so I had to mark it up some. So in that realm, I didn't mark it up much, but it was more expensive. That was like the base to everything that I did, right? That was literally the base to everything that I did. From that base, what you end up with is I started to add revenue, not by increasing my pricing, by learning more and providing my shirts, eventually finding somebody to print cheaper, and then eventually printing myself. So I started to open up that gap. But from here to here, where they charge to what I charge is one thing. That is, that's like You can charge $2, $3 more, and you can justify it. The way I justified it was, look, bro, like you see my artwork quality, everything that I'm doing, my presentation is way better than everybody else's, and the printing is the same. It's just the way the brand presents itself. So how you present your brand is one of the ways that you justify the pricing, right? Being a cleaner company, a smoother company to work with, having, all of these, a website that looks right, the whole entire brand just looks better, you can charge more. That's one aspect. But what I'm saying right now is, based on that, even on that, where I'm already a premium in the space, by going in a niche, by finding a market that I can own in a way I can position, how can I package up my services so that it's worth more? Well, I got a certain design style I can make for any school, for any purpose, whatever. Cool. Build that catalog. Here's the catalog. I just showed it to you on my phone. I keep reaching for the paper. I don't have it. But here's the catalog. I can make this stuff for any school. Here's the universal pricing. The universal pricing is like, you don't got to think, I'm charging, this is what I'm charging, but it's positioned by what you can make. So I'm saying charge 35 and I'm going to charge you 23. The little price on here, so it's a big price. Zoom in. It's a big price and a little price, right? They're not even thinking about how much it costs. Oh man, I'm paying $23 for this t-shirt. They're not thinking about that. They're not thinking about it. What they're doing is saying 35 minus 23 is how much is in it for me. Right? So now, again, I'm charging 35% more than what I would normally charge by how I packaged and presented what it is that I'm offering. I've had to increase my price. I always tried to be competitive, but it was going broke. So now I charge the minimum 20% more than what I used to. Smart, everything makes sense. Indeed. Yeah, fam. Like, this is why, like, I don't even want people to have my pricing without the book. And I've given my pricing away. You could probably find it somewhere for free. This is whether you can go find it or not, right? Because a lot of the videos or whatever it may be, but it's more important for you guys to understand why you're charging. Because I don't care where I'm going. This is what I charge, right? I don't care what city, state, whatever. But if there is an adjustment that you feel needs to be made, then you gotta make it. And you gotta know how, you gotta know why, you gotta know where it comes from. If you only count the profit, nothing else fucking matters. Because you know you're gonna cover your bases. Then it just becomes about how many shirts you can produce a month to cover your overhead, and you off to the races. That's if you only count the profit. And there's so many, like, it goes even deeper than what I'm talking about right now, or the only count the profit method. But it don't matter if you're not. The next way to price it the correct way and how you do all of these calculations and all of that stuff, we ain't got the same problems. That was one of the problems I had when I got into the game, was like, I downloaded this stuff from Ryan, and I'm looking at like, bro, I don't got no overhead. I don't got this. I don't got that. What is all of this stuff? Like, how do I get to where I need to be when all of these numbers are zero? Now you got me at some astronomically low ass price that you're saying I should charge. And it's like, okay, you need to position yourself for where you want to be. And then it's like, well, I don't even know what the fuck that means. I'm not thinking about owning a store and having overhead and electric for a store outside of I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. And nobody was talking about it in a way that it would make sense. It could make sense. That it would make sense. That we could make it happen. And so I had to go figure a different way out on my own. So yeah, that's it. I walked away from job, the price they could afford. I would make $1 a shirt. Do you think that was smart? Okay, so Without the job details, I don't have the answer to that question. So, how much were they willing to spend per shirt, and how many? Like, what was the job details? Give me the job details. Full color design. You had to do it with DTF. How much a DTF cost? How much a shirt cost? How much were they willing to pay? You don't even got to give me all of that. Just tell me how much they were willing to pay and what the job details were and how many it was. No, yeah, I know this dude. No doubt. Yeah, I don't even know how to tell you to subscribe. I don't even know. Give me the job details, and I'm gonna show you how to make this thing make it make sense. I had this same talk with Marquise when I was at the show in Long Beach, and somebody was trying to haggle him on price. You gotta look when you in those situations. You gotta look at the total amount of money versus the total amount of time. That's how I make those decisions. Second thing I'm going to do from there is I'm going to figure out if I can get you into your budget by making some adjustments to what you expect. Right? Meaning I'm going to go get the cheapest goddamn shirt I can go get. Right? With my pricing, whenever I drop my pricing from what it is, I'm automatically going to a Gilded. Or I actually not even Gilded, a Portland Company shirt. Right? Soon as I change my pricing, I'm going to the Portland Company shirt. If not, I just make a little more. If I don't have to change my price, I just make a little more depending on what it is that I'm doing. Right? If I know I'm walking into a situation and you're a school and you're used to paying this price, I'm just going to give you that price. I'm going to knock $2 off so you get my school discount. DTF, $4 per outsource, okay. Order shirts from Sandmark, DN108. They wanted to spend $8 a shirt. Okay. So how many shirts was it? You left that one out. But, yeah, I need the quantity. Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, I left it right where it's at. You did the right thing. It ain't working. Nobody doing that. You ain't making no money. You know you ain't making no money at $8 a shirt. That's $160, and I gotta spend all of it, and I'm gonna have to sit here for 30 minutes and print this job. Not to mention the 20 minutes I had to go back and forth with you about this job. So an hour of my time that I could potentially mess one shirt up and have to replace. Like, bro, that shit ain't even worth it. Anyway, when you got this, when you can just walk in and you know you got your pricing dialed in, you know you're gonna make money if you charge this, you know you're gonna make money if you take $2 off, you know you can still make money if you took $4 off, still make money, then you got a good price sheet, right? You know you can make money if you mess up. You know what? Now, how can I change your expectations? Listen, I can't do that, but what I can do is I can take this artwork I see right here. I can do it as a one color for $8 a shirt. I'll make the adjustments. It'll cost you a little bit for artwork. Cool. I can make the adjustments to this art. There's always a way you can convert full color art to a one color. If you can do it, it can be done for 95% of the cases. All right, now, it might be like 65% of the cases based on some of the stuff that's going on with AI and the art and all that stuff right now. But I can't give you that full color line, but I can give you this sketch. So now I can maneuver you down to where I'm not paying $4 a print anymore. I'm paying $1. So now I went from $1 in profit to $4 in profit for 20 shirts, $80. Okay, now we at least in the ballpark of where I want to be. But even that, at a one color for 20 shirts, I might go down to $11.50. I ain't touching it. Sorry, go find somebody else. Better yet, who your worst competitors? Send them down the street. Hey, this person, such and such might do it for you. But when you got your pricing down and you know it's like, bro, I can't make money. If I subtract more than $2 in that on that, I can't make money. Because if I mess up, I'm assed out. So I'm going back old school. Actually, I'm about to print it out right now. So inside of my shop docs, I got this sheet that is the job sheet. Which is this right here. It allows you to track by hand all of the documents, all of the important information that you need for a job all the way out. I believe that this needs to happen for, I mean, honestly, for the first year. You do one every month, you fill it up, you get a second sheet, and then you start to just watch and understand where the money is. You can do it in the computer, you can just do it with software, but I feel like everybody needs to do this for at least a year. I'm about to do this again just so I can wrap my head around where I am expense-wise, all of that kind of stuff. It's easy when I'm printing because all I gotta do is subtract the shirt. I know how long it's gonna take me, and it's easy. But when I got a lot of variables that I'm doing, this is what I'm about to start doing. 1 shirt, 2 shirt, red shirt, blue shirt. Gotta write it down. Take physical copy. I'm gonna go into the new year and I'm gonna go about it this way, just so I can be on top of, like, even using this is like, oh, this job just came in, write it on here with no details. It might never get filled in, but it'll just keep me abreast on what's going on while my attention is divided. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. Yeah, but we gotta be very clear on pricing, y'all. You gotta get very clear. So before I sign off, if you want to get the pricing, the Only Count the Profit book in the shop docs, which is these docs, some other docs in there. This doc is included. Let's see what else. An order form in there that I used to use. I don't use much anymore. I got the bulk order. So when I talk about I already know how much money I'm going to make, I can go right here to this thing here and say, boom, this job is going to be in between $137.50 and $269 in profit. The hoodie job that I just got, is that on here? So that's, oh, this is only t-shirts on this page. But basically, all of my pricing here so that you guys can have a look at it if you want it. You go to sixfigurePrinterClub.com/pricing. That'll get you to the pricing guide for your business. Make sure you're making some money. Out of here, y'all. Peace.